One of the things that strikes me that's changing rapidly, especially in the mid-market and above, and I'm not talking about huge enterprises, you said, not huge, but mid-market, small enterprise, there's IT organizations, there's budget, there's complexity, there's challenges in those companies.
Yeah.
This idea of efficiency of resolving problems, right? We're not just, hey, let me tell you what's wrong, and then the customer grabs an engineer and tries to go fix it, but they're expecting service providers to get more and more effective and more efficient at identifying problems and resolving those problems, so there's not interruptions, there's not downtime, there's not security problems. Talk a little bit about our thinking and your thinking specifically around this idea of resolution intelligence.
Yeah.
And bringing resolution intelligence to IT organizations to help them be more effective at identifying and solving problems and keeping those problems solved so that they don't keep recurring.
Very important topic, right? And I think we're betting our farm on that. And we kind of coined this whole term on resolution intelligence. All it matters, resolution intelligence is operations resolution. Nothing else matters. Yep. Everything is a problem in IT, and there's going to have a scoring, and someone's going to resolve the damn thing as fast as possible. To make that happen, you have to have very interesting integrations to kind of get data from multiple sources. Just like what we do for ASI, we have like 26 sources, dark web, deep web, open web. We read a bunch of things on Twitter handles and do some magic around it and do some correlation and all, just like an AIOps guys do. Similarly, we got to bring AIOps and all the integrations in. You got to contextualize all that data, not just machine location, IP address, and is host or is a P0 kind of a thing. Yeah. What's the business hours is working on? What applications hang on that? How many people are sitting on it? Will be just
what
furious.
Are the service dependencies?
All the service dependencies. What are the digital services you're running on that damn thing? What is the impact of the business to you if it's down for an hour or 2 or 3? What else could have been wrong in that area? Are the circuits flapping? What's going on here? So a lot of the context is completely missing. So we ended up building we saw all of that as a data problem, right? And
which in effect is exactly what it is.
Yeah. So receive all this at wire speed, contextualize like crazy, all the context around it, put it in a graph database on Elasticsearch, and then go at it and run a bunch of algorithms, machine learning and NLP stuff on it to kind of really eke out needle in the haystack, score it, get the right people to come, and give them all the information they ever need to resolve the problem.
So in essence, if you look at, in layman's terms, problem is identified, right? It's alerted, but all of the contextual information required to quickly solve the problem, if it can't be solved by a machine with no human intervention, if it's not an AI or an automation problem, let's say it clears all that, it gets to an engineer.
Yeah.
Engineer has everything they need to understand what are the dependencies, what's the nature of the problem. Maybe there's several problems. I can prioritize them effectively and attack them in a certain order and resolve those as quickly as possible.
Yeah, and
that's the difference.
That's the difference, and not in just one engineer. It could be 2 or 3 engineers.
Sure.
The idea is what combination of people can attack that problem to resolve this in the fastest way, in the most efficient way, in the least cost-effective manner, right? Most cost-effective manner. So picking and choosing through algorithms who's the best fit for solving this problem is some of the magic we do in terms of the back end to pull the right guy. And now extending that beyond our team to a partner's team, because we always want to work with a partner who has skin in the game in operations as well. We don't want to outsource traditionally because there's so much, we won't get the right context if we're not together, right? And get them, and maybe the end clients wants to be in this as well to solve the problem, right? So depending on how small you buy from us, how much you buy from us, we want to bring the right people to solve the problem in the fastest way and have a learning system. So the next time around, it's almost like Google search. The first search you did wasn't the greatest. Google was helping in the back end to train the engine. And then now, the system is self-learning and indexing is getting better and better, and there's no way you're going to compete.
It predicts
with Google.
what you're typing.
Absolutely. It knows where you are, it tells you what to do. He's going to run your live pretty soon, right? So the idea here is everything is a problem, contextualize the problem, score it, assign it, auto-assign, cut through response time. If it's taking 10, 15 minutes, do it in a minute or less than a minute, and bring the right folks so resolution becomes strong. Here's the beauty. That's the beginning of it. If we do this, as we're doing it now, the IT teams will have more time to prevent and predict problems using the same interface. So you're now beginning to do what you're supposed to do, which is avoid problems, not just work on solve the problem. So that's where we are investing heavily in, building a massive AI engine, data platform to do all that.